Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Stories of the Weird. I'm your host, Stephen Lumpkin, aka Silent Osiris. The O is a zero, but you already know that because you're here. Let's hear from our players this evening. Hi, guys. How's it going?
Hello.
Hey.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. Sound all looks good on my side. So, chat, let's do the thing where you yell at me if sound is not good, because it's very valuable. In the meantime, why don't I ask each of you to introduce yourselves? So let's start with Kevin. Tell us who you are and who you're going to be playing today.
Oh, geez. My name's Kevin. I am playing a half-orc cleric named Clog.
Awesome. That's excellent. What domain is your cleric?
Life.
Life domain. Very cool.
Yes.
Yoshi, who are you? What are you playing?
So my name's Yoshi. I'm going to be playing Oscar, a dwarven druid who got exiled and is now out and about.
Dwarven druid, not the most common race and
No.
class combination, species and class combination, I should say. Great. Chris, tell us about yourself. Who are you playing?
Sure. I am Chris. I am playing Pelafron the Conjurer. He's a human wizard who's a conjurer. And
Excellent.
I'm still working on that voice, so
I'll figure
it out
I'm sure
by
it'll
about
just
hour
sort of morph into its own creature by the end of the show. Yoshi, if you can pull your microphone just a little bit closer, people are saying you're just a little quiet. And our last player this evening, John, tell us about yourself and who you're playing.
Hey guys, I'm John. This is actually my very first time playing proper Dungeons and Dragons. I've played a bunch of other RPGs, but I'm really excited.
You're a fan of a bunch of Powered by the Apocalypse games, yeah?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is exciting.
And you're playing who?
Yes. So I'm playing a halfling woman named Verna Wainworn, and she is a rogue.
Awesome.
So I'm going full rogue.
Well, that is great. So, welcome to you all, our viewers here today. You're watching the first of the Stories of the Weird, which is a brand new D&D bucket in my channel. And the idea is that it's a place where I can tell original D&D stories with different groups of players, like the four great people here with us tonight, that are loosely connected, not necessarily directly. They don't necessarily share geography, but they all take place within the same conceptual world, and you might eventually start seeing connections between them. Of course, after tonight, I'm going to be offline for many months, potentially 3 or 4, as I move to a foreign country and build myself a new computer. So this is the preview of the awesomeness that will eventually be coming your way. And why are we doing this? This is Big Bad Online presenting Stories of the Weird for us tonight. So this is being played as a reward for the Big Bad Con 2017 Kickstarter, which was launched maybe in June, I think it was. And it was to help fund and make sure that Big Bad Con could carry itself off with great gusto. So Big Bad Con is a convention that's October 13th through 15th in Walnut Creek in California. And even though, of course, I'm going to be in Amsterdam at that point in time and not in Walnut Creek, some of these fine folks will be there, and it promises to be a great convention. As I understand, I'm not the only GM who was a part of that Kickstarter as a backer reward, so there are probably a couple other online games that are going to happen as a part of Big Bad Online, so keep your eyes out around the Twittosphere. Twittosphere, yeah. Sean Nittner is in chat here today. Thank you for visiting our channel, Sean. Sean is the guy who was organizing the Kickstarter and a significant part of Big Bad Con. So, thank you very much. And of course, the beautiful overlays that you see before you have been streamed in their development by none other than Eric Vulgaris, a wonderful channel member and moderator who you can find in chat right here today. So, thank you all for the excellent things that you are doing. Let's get started. So, before we really begin, I want to get to know each of our player characters a little bit more. So you four know what the current situation is, but nobody in the audience knows the current situation yet. So, ignoring your current adventure, how do you four know each other? Clog, Pelifron, Oscar, and Verna. Clog, is there someone else in the party that you know personally, like very well?
Not super in depth, but I think we've all been traveling together for at least 2 to 3 months.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So
2 to 3 months. So like, what have you been doing while you've been traveling together? Are you sort of a adventuring group, just taking on odd jobs, escorting caravans, across the landscape, or have you been more of the sort to go delving into dungeons for riches, chasing down?
I think it's a bit of the smaller jobs here and there, but Clog is very interested in unknown knowledge and hidden secrets. So anytime there's a dungeon option on the table, Clog is all for that.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of cherry picking of jobs. So like we'll see like, oh, this is an escort or caravan across a big open field. We don't really care about that.
Sure.
Oh, but we have to delve into here and get some hidden tome. That sounds more up our alley.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll transport people to pay the bills, I guess.
Yeah. You've probably had to take on a number of boring jobs to keep yourselves fed. So Clog is very interested in hidden information. Is that also Pelifron's deal, or is he interested in something else?
Definitely forbidden mystical knowledge, secret tomes, dusty crystals in dark corners of the world.
Dusty crystals.
That's Pelifron's shiznit.
I hear Dusty Crystals is a really excellent entertainer and dancer.
Yeah, Dusty Crystals is a great.
People do travel the world in search of Dusty Crystals. Oscar, what is your biggest motivator? What are you most interested by?
So there's two parts of it. So one of them is I've got these dark visions of impending disaster that's coming up. And so I think I'm looking for ways to try to fix it. But I think along those lines, my motivation is to basically teach these other people who need help, sort of like little wolf pups who need help in caring for, as well as all the people we meet along the lines.
Sure. So you're more of a proselytizer.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And Verna.
Yeah, so Verna is pretty much down for anything that will involve searching through, mysterious hidden places. Her main motivation, though, the thing that really drives her, is trying to find a cure for the undead plague. And so basically she'll follow anything that might even possibly be of any help to that cause.
Interesting.
So anything related to that, or it might even be related. So she's going through a lot of dungeons with these guys.
Yeah. So it sounds like, really, it's that Clog and Pelifron, sounds like you two are both in the same line of, the more secret stuff we can unearth and enhance our knowledge with, the better. Whereas Oscar, maybe you're following along with Clog and Pelifron because you have visions of impending doom. Do your visions of impending doom tie in with Verna's desire to cleanse this curse of undeath?
Very possibly. Like the signs that I think that I've seen are a lot of things like earthquakes and the earth splitting apart.
Ooh.
So there might be a lot of things along those same lines of undead roaming the land.
Right.
That happens.
Earth splitting apart and maybe the armies of the dead clawing their way out of it.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Clog, what's your most frustrating, or what's the personality trait that gets you in trouble the most?
I think there's two. I am horribly awkward in social situations.
Okay.
Maybe the part of that is because I'm a half-orc, but
yeah.
probably more he's just not very well-versed in that.
Yep.
I'm also easily distracted by the promise of information. So I've gotten myself, probably the rest of the gang too, in a bit of a pickle sometimes, maybe trying to get that last bit of scrap of paper in the tomb before the trap sprung.
So maybe you're a little greedy for information then.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you leap at the chance to grab secrets. Cool. Pelifron,
Yeah.
how about you? What's your attribute that's like the most frustrating, gets you in trouble the most?
I think Pelifron is definitely the sort of like jealous wizard type.
Ooh.
Like I want everyone to think that I'm way more powerful and intelligent than I am, even though I am pretty smart.
Cool.
But my like greatest fear is like meeting someone that might prove me wrong about something. And also I tend to be kind of insulting to people who I think are less intelligent than me.
Yeah. Okay, Oscar, what about you?
So I think one of the things that I do that tends to cause trouble, but not necessarily, is I kind of like play and drum when idle, and I'm not really thinking about it absentmindedly. But it's all like, since spending a bunch of time in nature and study, like it's sort of like arrhythmic, like kind of random. So it sounds like a brook or the rustling of leaves, like thunder type thing.
So, irritating drumming.
Yep.
Cool. Nice. And so does that play into like just a general sense that Oscar's a little spacey? He doesn't really fit in with society and interacting with people. He's kind of...
along those lines of, he's been out in the wilderness a whole bunch, and so like when he's sitting by a river for several hours just listening to the rhythm of the river, this is something he does, and doesn't really pick up on the fact that maybe you shouldn't do this in the tavern.
Sure. So it sounds like maybe Clog and Oscar, the reason they get along well is because they're both a little socially awkward, and they can go off and be a little socially awkward together. And Verna, what's the personality trait that gets you in trouble most often?
Right. I think the personality trait that gets Verna in trouble the most is her single-minded sort of, blinders on focus on her mission to, cleanse the realm of the undead, and doesn't always think about the consequences or the risk of failure for herself or the people around her. She kind of, not charges because she's a rogue. She kind of silently slips head on into danger.
So you're more willing to put your allies into danger in the pursuit of your goal.
Yes. Yeah, she kind of, yeah.
Sure. But maybe they keep you around because of how effective you can be?
I would hope so. I guess we'll find out just how effective.
I bet. All right. So, that being said, so Clog, you said you're greedy for secrets, like really aggressively greedy for secrets. When's the last time you got your friends in trouble pursuing these secrets? Could be in a dungeon, or maybe you overplayed your hand talking with a local nobleman, or who knows.
I don't think it was in a dungeon. I think we were in a tavern somewhere hunting for a lead on a job somewhere, and I might have let some things slip too much to maybe a rival adventuring group that was doing the same thing.
Yeah, well, did you maybe put out a question about Denithan's vault that someone overheard that you didn't necessarily mean to?
I think so. I think I might have dropped some information that we had some hardware to get us into that vault.
Got it. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to get some random names here. Name generator. Fantasy name generator. Let's go. Yeah, cool. So, you've run into this guy, Vincent. And like an ass, he spells it with a Y. V-Y-N-C-Y-N-T, Vincent. Yeah. And ever since that moment in the tavern, Clog, you've seen this guy and his trio of merry men showing up just everywhere. It's been so annoying. But you feel like, thanks to Verna's clever track hiding, you feel like you've escaped them for now. You haven't seen them in a few weeks. So, Vincent. And then his companions, Exalf, Arid, and Askfarth. I love random name generators. They're so fun. Good. Pelifron, you're jealous wizard. You prove your power more often than is necessary. You're kind of insulting to people. When's the last time you got the party in trouble for doing that?
We were several levels underground, and you know, like you do, there was like a crystalline encased sort of pedestal with a tome on it, probably written in blood in a language that I definitely either thought I understood, or like I was definitely like maybe projecting a little bit.
Yeah.
And I ran up and I was just like, I can read this spell and did
Who
my
among us
thing.
hasn't been there, really?
And you know, doing the wizard stuff. And I think there was like, you know, like some kind of it definitely involved like a blood, you know, like in The Shining.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we had to kind of it was a close one.
So maybe it was kind of like the Indiana Jones boulder trap, except instead of boulder, it was just a tidal wave of blood that you were all four just darting behind.
Yeah,
Great.
that was my bad.
Blood tidal wave. Oscar, when's the last time your general spaciness, in tunement with nature, got your party into trouble?
Yeah, so this was probably when we were in a dungeon and I was set on watch. I kind of got distracted a little bit by there was a brook that was going by. We camped near it because we needed the fresh water. And I kind of just paid attention to that and was listening and kind of tuning into nature. That is when the other bandits snuck in into camp, and I was supposed to warn everyone. That didn't happen. And so there was a little bit of chaos. We scraped out by, but I've been a little bit more careful on watch when I remember to be.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I think that it was that moment that Vincent and his crew of merry men chose to sneak into your camp and steal a jeweled key from you all. Let's see. Hang on. Let's find out who lost this jeweled key. It wasn't
you, Vincent.
It was not the key that you have, but it was a different one. It was another one, a valuable one. 1d4. Yeah. Well, it looks like it was it was Verna. It was your key that Vincent stole. I think you probably still have the lockbox that the key goes to, and it's got a bunch of jewels and valuables into it, but it's made out of magically reinforced iron. You can't get it open without that damn key. Vincent's got it.
Yep.
Man, I can't believe y'all are still together after all this. Verna, in your single-minded pursuit of your goal, when's the last time you got the party into trouble?
Ooh, okay. I think what happened was I saw at the end of a hallway in an abandoned necromancer's keep, I saw a set of vials. And I thought it might actually be the cure.
Yeah.
You know, like the recipe for the plague, and I might be able to reverse it.
Ooh.
And definitely just started going very quickly down the hallway and not looking to left or right. And I think, you know, the bigger members of the party had to come in swinging as the undead hordes kind of slowly formed a curtain behind Verna. She wasn't even looking behind her. She was just charging straight forward, and everybody else was just, on the forehead. Here we go.
Well, man, well, at least you've got Clog and Oscar who can really, sit out front of something like that and take care of it. All right. Very cool. Well, good to meet our party here today. So, for tonight's adventure, your journey to this spot has been long, months spent chasing rumors. At first, as insubstantial as the morning mist, but now tantalizingly tangible. You're on the trail of Denithan's vault, the secret repository for an ancient thief lord's greatest treasures. Through blind luck, fortune, some skill, and a little magical assistance, you acquired the key to the vault. It's a silver, filigreed object closer to jewelry than the keys you're familiar with. The head of the key is lace-like, and the blade projects out radially in 6 intricate spokes. The whole object is no larger than Verna's pinky finger. Riding high off of your recent successes, you learned that there is a man who knows where the vault is located. Lareth the Shade. So, the room you're in is dark and cluttered with all sorts of trinkets and baubles, runes carved on wood plaques, glass globes, each containing a mote of light, bones from the stranger creatures of the world, the sorts of oddities that you've until now only heard of by rumor. In one darkened corner hangs a small cage, some flesh thing sagging against the bars and dangling finger-like appendages out of the bottom. The figure behind the counter is heavily cloaked in midnight blue muslin. He reaches under the counter, places something on its top, and withdraws his hand, leaving a pale blue eyeball staring up at you from the dark wood. His movements waft the scents of clove, cinnamon, and amber through the air. Denithan's vault. I know where you can find it, only such information doesn't come cheap. Can you pay? 2,000 of the king's crowns would suffice.
Sorry.
Yeah, that he grabs his eye on the tabletop and he turns it to face you, Pelifron, and you feel like the gaze of this unblinking eyeball like fix you in the face.
Oh, that's your eye.
Yes.
Sorry.
Who else's eye do you think I might have? Do you just go around putting other people's eyes on countertops?
That's a perfectly legitimate point, sir.
He does sometimes, though.
At least that's what he claims.
Well, we can't necessarily pay you in money at this point, but maybe you have a cellar that needs sweeping. Dishes to be washed.
Are you accustomed to visiting cellars and not bringing money? Perhaps you think I make a living here in my manse without needing any gold.
Well, you don't need your eye to be in your head, so maybe you've got a way.
There are so many limitations contained within the flesh. You too can understand one day. And you, and he gestures at the rest of you, what have you to say for yourselves?
How about 10?
10. 10 crowns. Very well. Hand them to me.
All right. Clog empties his little coin purse.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All 10 gold pieces.
Lareth the Shade plucks the eyeball off the countertop and swoops it off over top of the gold. He mutters to himself, yes, well, it's certainly, there are 10 of them. And then he retracts his hand with the eyeball under the counter, brings out his hand again with an eye, with a gold iris instead of a blue one, and he passes it over the gold coins and says, yes, well, they certainly are made of gold. And he brings his hand back under the counter and brings out the blue eye and sets it down. And then he sweeps his hand across the gold coins, brushing them into a fold of his robes. And then he tucks his hands in his lap and he says, "Get out."
Wait, what about our information?
What? You thought I was going to really sell you that for 10 gold pieces?
Okay.
No, but, yes, it's of no concern. If you can't pay with coin, you can pay with service. I have 2 tasks which are beneath my notice for the moment, but which nevertheless need addressing. Complete one of them for me, and I will give you what you seek. Do we have a deal?
What are the tasks?
You wish to know the tasks
I do.
prior
Seeing
to
as we
agreeing.
just lost 10 gold for just offering it to you, I'd like to know what these tasks are before we agree.
I
That
think that's worth 10
information
gold.
is another 10 gold.
Don't look at me. I'm all out.
I think we've already paid for the fee of knowing at least what the tasks are.
Well, perhaps. You seem more persistent than most who come into this room. Very well. Task the first. There exists a Deodand who ravages my garden every 5 nights. A hulking brute of a beast, 4 clawed arms. He ravages through my rare plants and tears them up. Put the beast to the sword for me. Task the second. A group of monks from the Our Lady of Grey Monastery, 2 days south, will be staying at the inn back down the road tonight. With them, they carry a small wooden chest. I need you to procure that chest for me, preferably without the good monks noticing. Complete one of these 2 tasks for me, and I shall give you what you want.
Sounds reasonable enough.
Both sound within our capabilities. It's just a matter of which we think we can do more efficiently.
Unless you
Well-
thought you could take care of both of them.
Well, I have no doubt that we could, but then we'd need some additional compensation on your end.
Yeah, maybe about 2,000 gold.
I think that, some beast is well within our capabilities, and a band of oafish monks.
I have no doubt that men of your, and he looks down at Verna, men and women of your stature
Whereas, like, looking up.
Yeah. could certainly accomplish either of these tasks, but both in one night, why, that would be truly impressive. I will make it worth your while, but it's not worth discussing rewards at this point. You know what you get if you complete one of them. If you complete the second, well, I will make certain you're handsomely rewarded.
Okay.
Sounds reasonable enough.
I think we have a deal.
Very well. The garden can be reached by heading back out the door you came in and going around the house to the back.
Other than the fact that it is dangerous, what can you tell us about this creature, this Deodaniel, as you called it?
His name is not Daniel. Do not, my friend, underestimate the creature. Beast though he is cunning and ferocious. His hide is tough, his claws sharp, and his arms strong. He seems intent on tearing up my flowers. I don't like it.
As you shouldn't like that. Anybody who would go and destroy nature like that should definitely have something coming to him.
An appreciator of natural curation. Yes, I am so glad you understand.
But is it not in the beast's nature also to destroy the plants?
Lareth, he swoops under his counter and he picks up a huge book and he sets it down on the countertop and he goes, ah! He picks it up and he grabs his eyeball and he moves it out of the way. And then he sets his book back down and he flips it open. And there's just like tons and tons of monsters in here. Inkhags and Sahagan and trolls and vampires and Marids and ghosts. He flips to a page. He appears to be flipping through in order, and they're not in alphabetical order. They're structured in some other strange way. Half of the entries are written in a language that probably only Pelifron can actually read. He flips through it, and he says, Deodan. Yes, here. I'm sorry. Deodans do not appear to be naturally inclined to the destruction of flowers. No, they are a breed of creature, of hominid, which excels at the eating of human flesh and the tearing of limbs. That is its natural order. But the
Pelifron
plants...
turns bright red.
This plant-based aggression will not stand.
Well, sir,
Man.
we shall slay your beast. I go to shake his hand and then sort of think better of it.
Yeah,
It's like gripping the eyeball.
totally. He reaches under the counter, and he holds up a hand, and he holds it out to you.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
cool. Is that you feel satisfied with the information you've gotten from Lareth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're good.
He wants to sell us that monstrous manual of his.
Yes, 5,000 crowns.
Okay. I think we can take it from here.
Yeah, so I think as like we're walking out back out the door that we came, I like turned to everybody. I'm like, so clearly we're gonna go take on the beast first, right?
The beast does seem to be the simpler of the two tasks. How hard could
Yeah.
it be?
I'm not much of the thieving type.
I am.
So we do the first one first. Maybe we do the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
mean-
start there.
I want to be efficient. That's what I'm all about. That sounds
Cool.
good.
You are already here.
Yeah.
It's late in the day. You know, dusk is settling down around the manse. Let's see. Yes. So you're at Lareth the Shade's manse, which is located days away from the closest town. Lareth does dealings and trades with travelers and pilgrims who make the trek specifically to see him. The closest habitations are the Yellow Door Inn, which is an hour or two back along the main road, and the Our Lady of Grey Monastery, which is 2 days to the south. Lareth's manse sits on large and well-groomed grounds, but the grounds behind the house look distinctly wilder. So you're now standing out in front, and you can see in Roll20 this image that I've found. It's not exactly this, but the feeling is right. So it's just distant and isolated, and there's a long windy silver road that leads up to the manse, and then all the grounds around and behind are wild but carefully maintained in their wild state.
And
What time of day is it?
It was about dusk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this would be the night that the creature would be expected then?
Yes, he did say tonight was the next night the creature was anticipated.
Okay, are there... Did he mention a particular, area of flowers that the creature was...
It's the garden out back, I think.
Yeah, it's the garden out back. Is that where you're walking towards?
Should we
Yeah, I think so.
maybe make our way there carefully and lie in wait for the beast?
Well,
That
if it
would-
comes at night and it's still dusk now, we probably have a little bit of time to prepare.
Sure. Yeah. Well, you make your way around the side of this austere-looking manse. Back behind it, and a beautifully maintained garden stretches out ahead of you, lined on each side with a dense hedge of thorny razor vines, separating the well-maintained central area from old stands of magnolias on each side. Closest to you in the center is a wide open area featuring a beautiful fountain and granite stones making an open space. Beyond that is the flower garden in the back, including short, fat, blue-barked trees. In the dimming twilight of the evening, you can see deep purple fruits ballooning slowly on the branches of the trees. They look like plums. So, just to paint the picture once again, in the center, closest to you, there is a fountain. Further away, there's this stand of plum trees plus flowers all around. And then on each side, there's a hedge made out of razor vines. And then further out, there's these large, twisted, gnarled magnolias.
He did say the Deodan doesn't usually attack plants. Would there be a plant that somehow attracts the beast? Something that mimics or approaches the quality of flesh?
Let's see. Maybe there's some kind of a roll I can give you to see what you know about Deodans.
Verna has animal handling, but I'm not sure this would fall in.
Yeah, I think this would more be a nature check. Go ahead and roll one for me, and let's see how you do.
Okay.
11. You've sort of heard rumors of Deodans before, especially in your travels. They tend to haunt the moors and tear apart any unwary travelers who are traveling in small groups or alone. And you've heard plenty of scary stories of them, murdering people, or someone's head will show up on a doorstep and everybody will say, "Oh, the Deodans got him," whatever. But you've never heard anything about like the garden was torn up by a Deodan. No, not even special rare gardens. Like that's all like pixies or goblins or things like that. A night hag. Those are other people.
So I think
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think like you see Oscar, he's got like his staff that's like all engraved and carved, and he's like walking around into the back, like where all the flowers are, basically looking for like footprints or signs that things have been torn up before and maybe like regrown and like repatched up with all of like more garden work and stuff like that. But like while he's doing this, looking for like maybe where it's attacked before, he's also looking for like a good place because he's got this hunting trap, like a bear trap that he wants to like set down and place somewhere. So he's like looking for the place where it's been and maybe where it's going and where he can kind of like set this up to kind of like ensnare it later on.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So go ahead and roll an investigation check, and that will help you find a good place to put this trap. Yeah. Okay, let me tell you what you see. And then I'll tell you where the best spot to put your trap is.
Perfect.
Yeah. So you wander past the fountain. The fountain is this ornate statue of an angelic-looking woman who's holding a crystal sphere up to the sky. There's water pouring down the surface of the sphere, splashing off of her outstretched arm into the rippling pool below. There's tightly fit polished granite stones that create a large viewing area with a handful of marble benches around the outside for sitting. And in the back, where you've headed towards this gardened area, there are dense, squat trees bearing heavy purple fruit. The skins of the fruit glitter in the moonlight, sparkling with silver specks. The fruits are clearly ballooning before your very eyes, and soon as the sun dips below the horizon, the air is filled with their heady, nectar-laden aroma. They smell deeply enticing. Flowers of all varieties blossom on the sides, so there's this stand of trees in the center with flowers blossoming all around. Though it's obvious that some of the flower bushes have been damaged recently. It looks like there's a strange yellow flower that is closing towards the close of day here as the sun sets. And each of them has a small golden mote shining on the inside of it. And as the flower closes, this light winks out from around the garden. And it seems to be these ones that are the most damaged, most recently. Strangely, you notice that the trees and their fruits are entirely unharmed. So naturally, Oscar, you come to the conclusion that it's within this strand of trees is the best place to put your trap.
Clearly. Going through all of the other ones, this is the next target. I clearly need to lay the trap here.
Yep, absolutely.
I would love to fondle one of these fruits.
Okay. It feels like that stage of a plum that's just before ripe, where it's just a little bit too firm to the touch, but you can tell that in another 2 or 3 days, it's really going to be like the perfect time to eat it. But also, as you grasp it, it is beginning to soften and ripen in your hands.
I wait for it to get to where it would feel just about good enough to eat, and I go to pluck it off the vine.
Awesome. Yeah, it comes away easily in your hand. There's a soft pop as the stem disconnects from the fruit.
Pelifron, do you really
It smells really
want...
good. It smells delicious.
Do you
I
really
take a
want to
big
eat it?
old bite. I do it. I do it. I'm sorry.
Nice. Yeah. Let me see. What did I write? Yeah.
Experiment. It's a valuable experiment.
Make a Constitution saving throw, Pelifron.
Excellent. Where's my con save? There it is.
Oh, wait. Yeah, great. 11. Okay. So, you bite into this fruit, and this intoxicating vapor explodes from it as the juices run down your mouth. Is anybody else near Pelifron, or are you all, fairly far away? I know, Oscar, you might be close, but the others I'm not sure.
I think I'm probably too close.
Okay, good. And what about Clog and Verna?
I don't think I've walked over to those copse of trees.
Yeah.
I sort of have the feeling that I kind of
you may
walked
be
off to go.
investigating other parts of this garden area.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the fountain more.
Okay,
I think
cool.
Verna would have been trying to set up, inspect the perimeter to see if there were any places she could climb up and hide and lie in wait.
Totally. Yeah. So, Oscar, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as well.
Cool.
Such a good start.
Say that.
Okay. So, Oscar, you just smell this strong nectar fruit scent just blossoms in the air as Pelifron bites into this night plum. And
It's so good, you guys.
and it's a little overwhelming, but you manage to blink your eyes and stop up your nose, and you get your senses back together. But Pelifron, your mind goes wheeling through the stars and through the universe, and each star is it's a man or a woman sort of acrobatically twirling in the air with their hair that's like wrapped all around them, and their hair is like bright red or blue or gold, and it's just shining with shimmering colors of light, and you're spinning through this universe of star people, and Oscar, you spend the next 5 minutes or so sort of like slapping Pelifron's face, and finally, eventually, he wakes up.
I think I probably have dragged him off to that fountain, maybe to rest up there and the cool air and water coming in there.
Are you dunking him under the water?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Resting in the cool air. Yeah, awesome. So, Verna, would you give me? No. You're able to scout the environs with a decent level of accuracy.
Okay.
So obviously, this back area is where the Deodand is going to spend his focus. As far as you know, he's been targeting these flowers and these plants, just trying to tear them up and destroy them. And you think. The area is quite large, but it's all within decent bow shot of each other. So if you were to climb up into one of these magnolias, not only would you have a good overview of the fountain area plus the garden area, but you would also be a little protected because there would be this razor vine hedge between you and this central areas. So let me tell you a little bit more about that. So. Yes, the garden is edged with a thick hedge of razor vines on each side. It's easy enough to walk around them if you've got some time. But if you were quick and you just wanted to push straight through them, you could push through them if you're careful, though it'd be slow going. And for sure, if you shoved your way through, it wouldn't be pleasant.
No. Yeah. Okay. Are the magnolias, like, are they hanging, like, are any of the branches reaching over the razor vine hedge? Like,
Sure.
do any of them bend over so that, like, Verna could drop down within the perimeter of the razor hedge?
Give me an investigation roll.
Will do.
Yeah, you find one.
Okay.
It's going to be you find one that is poking out over top of the razor thorn hedge, so you can drop. It's about 15 feet high. So you can actually make an acrobatics test to avoid taking damage, but it's it's a little bit tricky, and it's directly over the fountain area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be worth it.
Okay.
I think it would definitely be worth it.
Cool.
So, yeah,
What
Verna
about-
would definitely let everyone know that, whatever else they're planning, she would definitely take up a sniper position up there.
Cool. And the moon is rising full over the eastern horizon as you begin planning your setup. So what of the other three of you, Clog, Pelifron, Oscar, where do you want to set yourselves? I know, Oscar, you put that bear trap right in the middle of that strand of trees. Pelifron, you're shaking your head, and where am I? I've lived
look at Oscar and I go,
8,000 years. Yeah. Mhm.
Send me back.
Yeah.
Not
And then
now.
I kind of come to, and I think I sort of I ready a crossbow, and I just kind of we don't know where this thing is coming from, but is the fountain kind of central?
Yeah, the fountain is kind of central. To the
So-
north of the fountain is this garden area.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm
east
kind of
and west
squatting
being-
on the fountain perimeter so I can rotate around it if need be.
Okay.
I had one question,
Yes.
which is just would we know at all if this is like a sort of dumb beast or a creature that could be spoken to and reasoned with?
You know that Deodans do speak human language. They speak common, but
Uh-huh.
there are competing theories. Pelifron, give me an Arcana check.
Will do.
We'll see how much you know about Deodans. Oh, damn.
Plenty.
Yeah, so listen, Pelifron. Deodans, they speak common. And many lesser scholars would tell you that the Deodand is much like the tropical parrot in that it can technically make the sounds, but its comprehension of the language is only limited to mimicry. However, thanks to a rare treatise that you read on the creation and science of these creatures, the Deodans are actually cognizant creatures who understand and use human language, but only in interacting with humans and other demi-humans. They don't speak or have a culture within themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a definite entrance to this garden, from the back area that it's assumed it's gonna walk through?
I'm sorry, what exactly were you asking, Clog?
Is there a definite entrance to this garden from the back that we assume this thing's gonna come from? Or
Yeah,
is there,
so
multiple spaces?
out beyond the magnolias and out beyond this flower area with this copse of plum trees, it sort of gradually dissolves into wilderness, and there's just woods on all sides. So theoretically, this thing could come from any angle. You're not entirely certain where it's going to come from. There are definitely easy options as far as it's going to come. If it didn't want to come through the razor hedge, it would have to come either directly from the north or come around the manse and enter from the south, the way that you all did when you were entering the gardens.
Okay.
So I think I start to take residence just on the edge of that fountain, and I think you hear me just drumming against the side of the fountain, and it kind of mimics the water that's flowing already there, just kind of amplifying that same sort of arrhythmic pattern. But then I'm going to turn to Pelifron. I'm like, you might want to dip your crossbow bolts into the juice of that fun you just had. It might be effective.
Yes, send the beast into a stupor. I was just going to say that. And I dip several bolts into the flesh of the fruit.
All right, Pelifron. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
Oh no. I was about to say Verna.
This wasn't my idea the second time. On save.
AoE, man.
Okay. You plunge one of your arrows into the flesh of this one bite fruit, and again, just this spray of gas just fills the air. This sweet nectar scent, and you see sort of sparkling on the back of your eyes visions of this starscape. However, you hold it together. You know what to watch out for this time, and you plunge in a number of other arrows as well. Roll 2d6 for me, Pelifron. Okay, you have 8 arrows that have been, gotten the pulp and juice of this fruit all on them. So, you said, Pelifron, you're also on the perimeter of this fountain, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and Oscar, you're with him.
Yep.
On the left-hand side, Verna, is where you are, hanging over top of this razor hedge, just out far enough beyond it that you could drop down and land on the ground. And what of Clog?
These razor hedges up.
Yeah.
Can I get behind it, kind of close to the more back end? So if it comes from the north, comes into the garden, I can circle around behind it to cut off it escaping or anything.
So you want to be up near the plums, but behind the razor vine hedge?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, Clog. Okay. Do you establish any sort of signal, like if y'all see the beast, or if you're, looking out for him to let each other know to be wary?
I feel like Verna would definitely want to set up signals. She is pretty familiar with different kinds of stealth signals and codes and things like that, so she would definitely have done this in the past. And before she got up there, she probably would have said, 2 owl hoots when you see the beast.
Are you talking snowy owl, barn owl, like a field owl?
Hooter's choice.
All right, just to check.
Mm-hmm. Sure. No, it's understandable.
All right, cool. So you're all sitting and waiting and watching, and the full moon rises high in the sky, its light shining down and illuminating this garden. Let's see here. So,
Nice.
Yeah. Good. So, Clog.
Excellent.
Would you roll a stealth check for me, please?
Okay. I am in chainmail, which gives me disadvantage. Can I argue that because I'm just standing still and not moving?
I was going to give you advantage for having long enough time to prepare anyway, so
Okay.
Let's cancel out the disadvantage. We'll give you normal.
Excellent. All right, here we go. 2 nat ones.
I don't.
Clog, you are crouched down in a set of bushes, and you're very well hidden. You can see dappled moonlight all around you, but the patch you have found is just pitch black. You're sitting there feeling very self-satisfied. Oh yeah, Clog, you've done it. You found the best hiding spot. Nobody will ever see you. Nobody... You know what? You shouldn't have had that extra skin of wine, Clog. You're feeling that pressure just building, and it's been hours, right? There's no way the Diodan's going to show up while you're out taking a leak.
And I'm right in front of the hedge.
You're right there. It's fine. You could probably just go. So, you stand up to take care of the call of nature, as Oscar would certainly understand.
Verna can see this happening, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shaking the head.
Yeah. And, you know, as you finish your business, you turn around to look at your secret hiding spot, and you hear a low voice speak out from the shadow there. And it says, "I know you're there, half-orc. I can smell your blood. Come, let me drink you." And it stands up out of the very spot you had been hiding in, and it's got these 4 massive furry arms reaching out towards you. Would each of the 4 of you select your token here on the tabletop and then click the initiative in your character sheet, and that will add you to the automatic turn tracker.
My God.
Hey,
Good,
another
great.
nat 1.
Yep, this is going well.
This is the first time I ever played Roll20. I rolled 3 natural 20s in a row, so I think this is karma.
Right. Yep.
How do you roll initiative?
You click the word initiative in your character sheet.
Oh, it's that easy.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Look at that. Nice, Verna.
Right. At least I'll be able to get a shot off before he eats Clog.
Yes, I'm
Great.
baked.
Right. So let's see Deodand.
That was actually the plan the whole time. We didn't tell you. You were the bait. we knew. We knew.
17. Okay. And then sort. Whoops. Descending, not ascending. Okay, so Verna, in the shadows off to the left-hand side, just beyond the hedge, outside of the center of this garden area, you see the Deodand stand up, and it seems to be speaking to Clog. What do you do?
Is it within short bow range?
Yes, definitely. All of the areas within threat. In fact, you found a place that was ideally positioned enough that just about everywhere you can see is within the 80-foot optimal range.
Yeah, okay. I know the Deodand is right next to Clog, so because I knew where he was, so Verna's definitely gonna take a shot.
I'm assuming here, Verna, that you have stealth. So you not only have sneak attack, but you're also attacking with advantage.
That's correct. That is correct. All right, so.
Oh man, look at that! Very nice. So your arrow sinks straight into the Deodand's neck. You deal.
Oh, I actually have to roll my sneak attack. Damn it.
Yeah, please.
That'll do it.
Oh well, sure. Yeah, well, it's a solid hit, right? This Deodand was ready to tear into some half-orc, and then an arrow whips out of nowhere and slams into it. It roars, bellowing in anger, and then it leaps forwards, slamming into you, Clog. It's 4 arms gripping at you and tearing against your armor. Let's see here. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, thought I was helping.
All right, Clog, what's your armor class?
My armor class is not 11.
That's good.
It's 16.
16, yeah. So his clawed arms are scrabbling against your chain shirt, and you manage to throw him off without taking any real damage from this. Oscar, you see all of this going down. What do you do?
I think we hear like the roar of the Deodand, and then like you see Oscar sort of transforming into a brown bear.
Nice.
And then like echoing out like a similar roar, but like maybe like a little bit of a hoot like roar with it. Like trying to remember the protocol that we went through here. So like you have like that hoot roar twice, and then I'm gonna charge at him.
Okay, great. So you're far enough away. And also, are you just charging straight through the razor vine?
I'm probably gonna have to go. Yeah, no. Let's just go for broke. Let's just go through the razor vine and go straight for him.
All right, cool. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Cool.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Nice.
Not bad at all. Yeah. So, as a bear, you start running and you veer into a bear, hooting twice as you go, and you basically just take this flying leap over this razor vine. Not something that you would have been able to achieve in your human form, or dwarf form, certainly. But you go crashing into the brush on the other side, and the Deodand is pretty shocked to see this bear come out of nowhere. Now, that takes all of your movement to get over there, but you're there now. Pelifron, how about yourself? What are you going to do?
I leap up from behind the fountain, and I throw a hand in the air and waggle my fingers in a wizardly fashion, and I go, and I cackle this horrible cackle, and I cast Tasha's hideous laughter at the Deodand.
Very nice.
Which is, I think, just a save on its end.
Yeah. Do you have it in Roll20 where you can just click it and then it casts the spell?
Yes. Sorry.
Do that for us.
There we go. Got the whole thing in there. Perceives everything as hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughter if the spell affects it.
Yeah, so wisdom saving throw. All right, let's take a look.
DC 13.
And it fails utterly. So this bear comes roaring over the hedge, and it lands crashing into the underbrush directly next to the Deodand. The Deodand turns and just goes, and it falls to the ground, becoming prone, unable to stand up. At the end of its turns, and each time it takes damage, it makes another wisdom saving throw. Advantage if it takes damage. So, okay, Clog, did you just, you were taking a leak, turned around, Deodand scratching at you, bear falls on the ground. What do?
I start hooting very quickly, very loudly. And then I mace down and start swinging at this guy.
Brennan just shouts, "We know already."
So attack roll.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, okay, so it's rolling around and flailing so hard with its laughter that you can't quite bring your mace to bear. Verna, it's your turn. You can still see the thing.
Yeah.
It's prone. Is that counting the advantage?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It is prone. You do have advantage. So, yeah, you crack it one on its skull. Roll
awesome.
damage. I think you can actually click the word mace there to roll damage.
I was very worried about the AC.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, 5 damage. So, solid
No, it's
here.
going to get a save.
Yep, let's roll that wisdom saving throw. Boom, it wakes up. Oh, why you hit head? Verna.
Okay. How far away am I from the beast at this point?
You're 70 feet away.
Yeah. Okay. So there's no. She would be useless if she got down. So she's going to be taking another shot.
Okay.
So let's see. Da, da, da.
Ooh, yeah. No, unfortunately, it's a little too low to the ground, and your arrow gets snagged up in the branches as it passes. The Deodand surges to its feet, and remembering that Clog is wearing this heavy scale armor, the Deodand launches itself at Oscar the bear.
Off the bear.
All right, Oscar, it hits you twice. Its claws scoring deep rents in your fur. First for 15 damage, and then for 14.
Ooh.
Now, how many hit points does that bear have?
34, which brings it down to 5.
Wow, damn, that bear's got good health. All right, so I thought you would just spawn back as Oscar with full Oscar health, but no, you're still bear. Fortunately for you, it's your turn.
Yeah, so I think all bloodied, I think it just comes back and counters and swings and bites at it since I've got a multi-attack of a bite and a claw. So let's see, let's do that. And that?
Yeah, you hit both of them, tearing into this Deodand.
Nice.
Some bloody battle.
For 8 and 12, 20 points of damage from the bear launching itself at the creature. Damn. Okay, so Pelifron, it's your turn.
I pull a small flask from somewhere in my garments with a firefly in it.
Okay.
And I like drink this firefly, and I mutter an incantation, and I'm casting color spray.
Ooh, but you're very far away, right? Are you trying to run over there?
Oh, what's the range on color spray? Sorry.
I think it's a 15-foot cone.
Also, wait, my bad. I totally didn't even prepare that particular spell.
Nice.
Sorry. I'm gonna shoot it with the crossbow.
All right, cool. So
My
you
bad.
notch one of your poisoned arrows in and fire on it.
I'm gonna do that.
Awesome.
And here's my cord.
Now you're standing up on the edge of this fountain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
With,
can
like,
see over the
a
hedge
little
to
cover,
the
you know.
Deodand. Oh yeah, you nail him. Your crossbow bolt slams into its shoulder. Roll your damage. Hey, you know,
Oh, that's
it's
sorry.
fine. 5 damage, no problem.
Wait, that was a D20 roll, I think. That was a
Oh
second
right,
attack
okay,
roll,
right.
accidentally.
So yeah, just click the word light crossbow and then it'll tell you.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Okay, 10 damage. Very nice. So, and it needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay, yeah. So, Oscar and Clog, you see the Deodand's double pupils. It's got 2 pupils in each eye. Just go super wide, and you can actually see motes of light drifting through them as it stands there. Its 4 arms slowly fall to its sides, and it's just sort of drooling. Okay, Clog, your turn.
So let's just stand there not doing anything.
Yep.
Can I attempt to tie it up, or are you just gonna slug it till it dies?
You certainly could. Yeah.
I'll just hit it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Yeah. I'm Clog, so.
Oh, wow.
Hey!
Hey, a crit. All right. Click that
Alright,
damage.
I think this should do it automatically. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
10. Okay, very nice. The creature is beginning to look incredibly beleaguered. Verna, as you draw back another arrow in your bow, you hear from off to the right-hand side, across the garden, a woman's voice shouting, "Wait! Wait! Stop! Stop!" What do you do?
So I think she turns her bow in the direction of the woman
Yeah, totally.
and just shouts, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
That's pretty basic. I don't think there's anything else there.
A woman comes bumbling through the razor thorn. It catches on her white gown, and it pulls her and holds her back. And she shouts and waves her arms. You can see she's holding a dagger in one hand. She says, "Wait! I can calm him. I can calm him. Don't kill him, please."
Oh boy. Okay, so Verna, doesn't really like having to be nice to people anymore at this point, but like kind of does it out of like habit.
Mm-hmm.
And so she drops her bow and she says, "What do you mean him?"
The creature, the beast, the Deodand. I can calm. Wait, he seems rather calm.
Mm-hmm.
Is that are you holding your action, Verna? You're not going to take any aggressive action?
Not again. How far is this woman from me right now?
Like 50 feet.
Yeah, no, she's not going to do anything right now.
Okay.
Verna's holding action to see what this woman's business is.
Okay.
Learn more.
So the Deodand, it shakes its head and it blinks its eyes, and you see the motes of light inside of them fading away, and then it looks around and it holds its arms back up and it goes, "Blah!" and it's ready to act again. Oscar, it's your turn.
It has a weakness for the fruit.
Yeah. So I think given that, I think instead of attacking it, I think I'm gonna just like kind of like shoulder in and barrel and like push and charge it right into all of those fruit trees and where all the food are coming down.
Cool.
And where that trap might be lying. So
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Roll an athletics check.
Sure.
And I'm gonna give you advantage because you're a fucking bear. Well, good thing. Yeah, let's see. So this is kind of like a grapple-esque situation. I figure you're trying to like shove him. The Deodand is going to try to oppose you. I'm going to give the Deodand disadvantage for shaking off the effects of this poison that's coursing through its system right now. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's still weakened from the effects of the poison that Pelifron applied, and you shove it through the Razorthorn vines. I think probably neither of you get to make a saving throw because you're just trying to bull rush your way through.
Yeah.
So each of you takes 1d6 damage. So this is for the Deodand, takes 3, and for Oscar takes 2. So sure.
Cool.
And then you shove him into a tree and you crash him against the trunk, and these fruits all fall from the branches of the tree and they splatter against the ground, and the air just fills with this nectar scent. So give me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Oscar, at the end of your next turn, you will get to save again and see if you can shake it off. And the Deodand is the same. So Pelifron, what do you do? The woman's actually fairly close to you. She's probably like 20 feet away.
And she's tangled up in the
Yeah,
vines,
she's extricating herself. She's pulling this white cloth out of these.
I'm gonna move towards her and sort of try and give her a hand.
Okay, cool.
I say, hello, miss. You know something about this beast?
Yes, he's my husband, John. Please,
Oh,
you can help us.
Well, we'll have to sort that out, won't we?
Can Verna
Maybe don't kill it.
on her turn?
Yeah, sorry, what, well, it's Clog's turn, I guess.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay. Sorry, did someone shout out, "Don't kill it"? Or did I hear that?
Yeah,
Or-
the woman's
I
shouting
shouted
out,
that.
"Don't kill it." She's saying, "No, this is my husband, John."
Okay. Clog takes a quick second to think, and then he, like, oh, well, it was a voice, someone else from the party, and I guess Clog will attack it non-lethally, try
Okay.
to knock it out.
Cool.
Can I get over to him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You get advantage because he's incapacitated right now. Oh,
Don't even need it, Steven.
Jeez. 1s or 20s all day long.
That's how Clog rolls.
So roll your damage. Yep. Yeah. So you
All right.
crack him deftly off the back of the skull, and he slumps to the ground. And the woman sort of stops and pulls herself up short and says, "Oh, well, you certainly seem like you took care of that. All right, yes." And she pulls herself out of the razor vines, and Pelifron, I guess you're helping her in that a little bit. And then she walks over to the back of the garden where these plum trees are, where the Deodand is snoring peacefully on the ground. Oscar, you eventually blink your eyes and wake up. Yes, she puts a hand to her chest. She says, "Thank you. My name is Elise. John was my lover. We sought a fertility aid from Lareth, but John gambled our money away and he couldn't pay his debt. This was Lareth's punishment. Please, I know if you searched within his manse, you could find a concoction to reverse this affliction. I beg of you."
Crap.
I knew that guy was shady. It
Oh,
was the eye thing.
Literally.
kindly leave.
Clark is just sitting there, like, going, like, well, we need the information to get into
What?
the tomb. We need to kill this guy for the information. And we need to get the thing out of this guy's mansion and fill this guy. Like, going like this big ring of side quests that are
What,
keep on leaking over to.
What do you need from inside the manse to save your husband?
Somehow this Lareth, the Shade, he brewed a concoction that turned my husband into this Deodand. But we heard from a local hedge witch that there's a cure. That if you brew from the sunflowers here a potion, that it can reverse the curse.
From the sunflowers.
The sun roses, the ones that
roses.
had the golden glowing orb
yes.
inside.
Yeah.
The ones that the Deodams seem to have been attacking most.
This could prove a valuable learning experience. I would like to
could.
see more of what's inside that manse.
Do you want to steal stuff from the guy with 10 eyeballs, though?
While
He
the
did
four
take
of
10
you,
of our gold.
while the
that's
four
true.
of you step aside to confer with each other about your next course of action, why don't we go to a 4-minute break?
That sounds good.
And then when we come back, we can hear what it is you all would like to do in response to the current situation. So, thank you all for watching the first Stories of the Weird. We will be back in 4 minutes, and we will keep going. I think we'd planned on going somewhere between 3 and 4 hours tonight, and I think we should make it. So don't go anywhere. Come back in 4 minutes.